From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. A Ruby man accused of severely injuring one man and threatening several others appeared in Superior Court yesterday afternoon to enter a plea in his case.
That's right. 28-year-old Ivan Vent pleaded not guilty to first-degree felony assault in addition to numerous other charges. Court documents allege Vent beat a Ruby man, and witnesses who tried to save the victim were then threatened by Vent. They told police Vent threatened to, quote, get an AK-47 and kill them. After a short pursuit, he was arrested. Police say he was driving intoxicated and crashed a vehicle and later an ATV. The assault victim was medevaced and reportedly needed reconstructive surgery on his face from the injuries sustained in the attack. Now, trial for Vent will be held in September.
A Fairbanks woman who led authorities on a high-speed chase was back in custody, this time charged with felony escape. Shaylin Atla reportedly walked away from custody at the North Star Detention Center. Atla reportedly stole an F-150 truck and led authorities on a high-speed chase, ending only after troopers deployed spike strips to stop the truck in North Pole. She was facing 7 charges for that case. Yesterday, Atla pleaded not guilty to those charges in front of Superior Court Judge Bethany Harbison. Atla, who has 3 prior charges of violating release along with 13 prior convictions, will be held on $10,000 bail, plus the condition of a court-approved third-party custodian.
What can the state pay for companies to explore for oil in Alaska? Now, that's a question Governor Bill Walker and the state legislature will have to answer in the coming year. Walker released final details on the state's FY16 operating and capital budgets last night. Total state spending will be $12.1 billion, using just over $4.9 billion in unrestricted general fund dollars. That's a 19% reduction from the previous year. The state will draw $2.7 billion from savings to balance the budget. Governor Walker used a line item veto to reduce the $700 million appropriation for refundable oil exploration expenditures to $500 million. Walker says the remaining $200 million in due payments will be made over time. Walker has made clear his intentions to explore future revenue enhancements, including an income tax for the use of permanent fund dollars to finance state government. He says the current credit system for oil and gas exploration is not sustainable and will need adjustment.
I have seen some projections that the payments to the exploration companies not in production could be as high as $1.3 billion next year and continuing to climb. And that soon could become our largest expenditure in this state. And we need to be mindful of that and look, is there another way that we can provide incentives in such a way that it doesn't drain our resources, and we're borrowing money to do that.
Governor Walker today announced his appointments to the Alaska Marijuana Control Board, which was created by passage of legislation he sponsored. House Bill 123 passed in April and created a board that is tasked with developing regulations covering aspects of marijuana cultivation, processing, and commercial sale. The Alaska Department of Revenue estimates that marijuana will generate between $5 and $9 million in tax dollars during the first year of commercial sales. Soldotna Police Chief Peter Milnaric joins Lauren Jones of Juneau and Mark Springer from Bethel on the board. The 2 industry representatives are Bruce Schulte of Anchorage and Brandon Emmett of Fairbanks. Both are affiliated with the Coalition for Responsible Cannabis legislation. Emmett says he is eager to help shape the cannabis industry in Alaska.
I'm going to go into it with a very open mind. I know we've got a really diverse background from all of the other board members. Happy to have been appointed to the board, and I'm going to continue to due diligence and try to enact regulations that are in the best interest of the Alaskan people, the Alaskan economy, and the cannabis consumer.
The State Department of Labor and Workforce Development is moving forward on an initiative to keep construction jobs in the hands of Alaskans. Employers working on state-funded public construction projects are now required to fill 90% of positions with workers who are state residents. This action restores statewide hiring obligations, which were previously limited to only 15 boroughs and census areas in 2013. Around 20% of Alaska's construction workers are not residents of the state, according to a report by the Alaska Department of Labor and Workforce Development. Director of the State Division of Labor Standards and Safety, Gray Mitchell, says the provisions are statutory and went into effect when Alaska's unemployment rate dipped below the national measure.
Alaska's unemployment rate really has been fairly stable, but the national rate, on the other hand, is been going down, and so the Alaska's rate is now, or has been, exceeding the national rate by more than 10%.
Okay, when we come back, the rains are expected again tomorrow, but after Thursday, the temperatures will begin to rise and the weekend is looking hot.
Also, Pioneer Park is making preparations for a big weekend with 4th of July celebrations, music parades, and many other events, and of course, we'll fill you in. Stay with us.
And welcome back. Even though the Fairbanks area received heavy rainfall of close to 1/2 inch overnight, smoke returned to the Tanana Valley thanks to westerly winds. Now, the rains have moved south of the area but are bringing the threat of flooding along the Goodpaster River into tomorrow. The rains are expected to diminish by Friday as the new weather pattern moves into the interior. High pressure will bring clearing skies and temperatures will rise to an abnormally high that will increase the fire danger once again.
Temperatures will start warming as we go through Saturday and Sunday, and on Monday there'll be pretty strong high pressure back over the whole eastern interior that'll last well into or through next week, and this will bring warmer temperatures, of course, drying conditions as well.
Closing ceremonies were held today at the Five Hills Training Area in Mongolia, marking the official end to Exercise Conquest 2015. Monty Bowen has details in this week's military report.
Get to the bound! Go, go, go! Alpha bound!
For the past 2 weeks, Mongolian armed forces hosted over 20 nations in the 13th iteration of the exercise. Conquest is co-sponsored by U.S. Pacific Command and is the latest in a continuing series of exercises designed to promote regional peace and security. Soldiers with U.S. Army Alaska and the Alaska Army National Guard conducted perimeter security during a search and cordon field training event.
My soldiers find a lot in common with them. We find it's a lot easier to talk about soldier things. It's really a common language, despite the language barrier. We've been able to interact greatly with soldiers from Mongolia, Japan, Korea, and Philippines, so it's been a great pleasure.
Mongolian armed forces and U.S. service members, along with other nations, operated a primary field hospital.
Our mission is to provide health care to the Mongolian citizens. So we will screen for wellness. We will screen for small minor surgeries that we can do definitive care here, and things that need a little more care than we can provide at a school, we will help coordinate with the Mongolians and their healthcare systems. The Alaska National Guard benefits in many ways from this healthcare exchange.
Over 1,200 service members, 300 of them from the U.S., took part in the exercise. This is Monty Bowen reporting.
The Military Report is brought to you by Stanley Nissan. Innovation for all.
The folks at Pioneer Park are busy preparing for their annual 4th of July celebration. We're going to check in with Stephanie Woodard to see what's happening at Pioneer Park.
Hello and welcome back to another edition of What's Happening at Pioneer Park. I'm here again with Park Manager Jason Avery. Jason, what's up?
Oh, we're just getting ready for 4th of July.
So it's not very nice out today, but the weather's supposed to be really great and you guys have a lot planned for Saturday.
Absolutely. We kick off at 11 o'clock with the U.S. Army Alaska Arctic Warrior Band, and then we start off with the ceremony at noon.
I think we have somebody waiting for us, speaking of the Army, up on the Indiana, don't we?
Yeah, let's
go take a look. Guys, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Hey.
Jason, good to see you.
Good to see you. So tell us, what are you guys going to do? Alan, you're with Fort Wainwright, so tell me what you guys are going to do for the 4th of July this year here at the park.
Well, this is one of those things that's been going on for about 30 years, and it's been a partnership with the Army and Pioneer Park and our friends out at Eielson. And we usually bring our band, the 9th Army Band. We have a guest speaker, Colonel Sidney Cape Zemp. He's our garrison commander.
And what about you for the Air Force? What are you guys expecting to have here? You guys are participants every year.
We're happy to work with the Army and with Pioneer Park, and we're going to be providing 25 airmen to help hold the flags along with 25 soldiers.
Independence Day is great, and especially spending it with the military members. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And Jason, we have a lot more to talk about for the 4th of July, so let's go check out what else you guys have going on, okay?
That sounds great.
Let's go. Bye, guys.
See you.
So there sure is a lot going on. Tell me some more stuff that we can look forward to at the 4th of July here at the park.
Well, we've got great entertainment as well as face painting for the kids and kids games throughout the day. And then we're going to also have kids parade that starts at Moore Street at 2 o'clock.
All right, well, thank you so much, Jason. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and make sure you come on down to Pioneer Park for the 4th of July celebrations, because that's what's happening this week at Pioneer Park. Always a fun time with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be a big event with the weather being so nice.
It sure will be. All right. Well, Joe Cook is up next with sports and has updates on a couple of former Interior standouts.
Also, the Gold Panthers pick up a big win at home. Those stories and more after the break. Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the sports seat for you this Wednesday evening with your local sportscast. The Alaska Gold Panthers were able to put together a complete game on Tuesday night. Alaska and the visiting Peninsula Oilers met for Game 4 of their series at Groudon Memorial. It was scoreless after 2 innings, but Alaska, they got up on the board first in a big way. Bottom third, and Matt Galelich, he goes yard deep right field and over the fence for a 2-run home run. It's the second homer of the summer for Alaska. The Oilers, though, they responded with Ted Boakey, who hit a solo shot to make it a 2-1 game. But in the bottom of the 4th, Alaska would tack on 2 more runs. Austin Bush, he gets a sac fly to bring in Scooter Bynum. Then Malik Jones, he hit a double and an error, which leads to a Spencer Nielsen run. Joe Fernandez, he did a solid job for Alaska, giving up just 2 earned, striking out 5 in 6 innings of work as a starting pitcher. Fernandez, Jose Cardona, A.J. Frank, and John Schreiber combined for a 4-hitter. Schreiber gets his 3rd save of the year, and Alaska wins 4-2. Alaska's 3-7 in the ABL and 7-9 overall. They are now just 2 games back behind the Oilers in the American League. After Monday's 2 losses, the key in Tuesday night's win for the Panthers was fairly simple.
I'd say just competing, man, to be honest with you. Just throw fastballs, and when you get the opportunity to strike them out, then you put the put-out pitch away, but just let them hit it. Let your defense work.
It felt good off the bat. I had a couple during BP that were feeling that way. BP was feeling good, so it felt good off the bat, and was able to help the team out. This was huge for us, especially after yesterday dropping 2. We knew we had to come back and win a couple, or win this one, hopefully get the one tomorrow. We got some great pitching today, and offense was able to get it going.
Janae Deloach of Allison High School will be competing in Beijing this summer. Deloach earned a spot on Team USA's World Championship team after placing 3rd overall at the USTF Championships last Saturday in Eugene, Oregon. Deloach won her flight in the long jump event with a 22 feet 9 3/4 inch jump. She trailed former world champs Brittany Reese and Tiana Bartoletta. This is significant for Deloach, who switched to jumping off of her right foot. She always jumped off her left foot, but suffered a broken ankle a couple years ago, and after more injuries and surgeries, she made the switch this year, and I guess it's paid off. The 2012 Olympic bronze medalist and world champion silver medalist will jump at the IAAF World Championships in Beijing, China in August. It wasn't in the cards this summer for UAF Hall of Famer Brad Olsen. Olsen and Barcelona fell to Real Madrid in a rematch of the ACB La Liga finals in Spain recently. Real Madrid swept Barcelona in the best-of-5 series. The North Pole product has the best game in Game 3 with 10 points and 4 assists. Barcelona and Real Madrid have alternated league championships the last 4 years. In his 12th pro season, Olsen was named to the EuroLeague All-Defensive First Team, averaged 6 points per game, shooting 42% in 34 games for Barcelona. Olsen has 4 professional titles. On Tuesday, the United States women's national soccer team punched their ticket to the World Cup final. Team USA weathered a pretty physical game against Germany in the semifinal. Carly Lloyd converted what would be the game-winning penalty kick at the 68-minute mark of the second half for the U.S. Germany missed their PK earlier in that half. Lloyd led Team USA with that goal and a beautiful assist right near the goal line to Kelly O'Hara, who scores her first World Cup goal and thwarts any comeback from Germany. USA, they win 2-0 and advance to Sunday's World Cup final. They will play defending World Cup champion Japan for the championship, which is a rematch of the 2011 final. Team USA will be on the brink of all-time world greatness. They are the first team to reach 4 Women's World Cup finals and could become the first country to win 3 World Cups. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is up next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
At least around where I live in the University West area, and the airport reported about 0.30 of an inch, but a couple of people had rain gauges there and said they had reported over ½ inch of rain, and that has got to help the fires a little bit. And then, of course, the smoke came back in, and now we got more rain moving back in, so kind of a seesaw situation going on, but as you saw in the report earlier, we're looking at good weather this weekend. Now, today our photograph is a really cool one. This is Carol Lewis was able to capture these 5 kid foxes, or pups, and this is over in the Chena Hills area. And she wanted to remind folks that when you see animals like this, don't feed them, don't domesticate them, let them do their own thing. They don't want to get them broken in that way. And again, as always, if you have a photograph to share, send it to photos@ktvf11.com and we'll share it with the audience. Okay, 61 degrees, that's our high. The current temperature at 61, the low last night 51. The record high 88, that was in 1990. 31, the record low in 1905. Sunrise and sunset, about 21 hours and 27 minutes, a loss of 4 minutes from yesterday. On our satellite and radar, once again, you can see a lot of moisture moving across from Canada. It's called an easterly wave, moving right down to the south of the Fairbanks area for the most part. We might get some of this that's moving in behind it. In fact, the latest radar will zoom in on it and show you that Fairbanks is not too far away from it right there. You can see some of this might drag on through and give us more rain this evening and get a chance of rain for tomorrow. But after that, things are looking really good. As we were saying earlier, temperatures will be zooming up and skies clearing out. All right, what's going on across the rest of the state? Showers around Juneau, showers at Ketchikan, temperatures in the low 60s. Raining all day long around the Anchorage Bowl, 61 degrees there. Partly cloudy skies at Kodiak, 59. Also partly cloudy at Cold Bay, 58. And 52 at Bethel and 45 at Nome with 52 degrees at Barrow. Nice day there. And just mostly sunshine, I should say, in the Fort Yukon area at 73. Lower 48 weather, it looks like this. And again, we're talking about hot temperatures. 90 degrees in Seattle, 98 at Salt Lake City, and again, very, very hot over the desert southwest, 91 at Denver. Another hot day in Dallas, Minneapolis, not too bad, partly cloudy skies. No real strong storms to talk about today. Things are just mainly showery over conditions over the deep south and around the New York area and down to Washington, D.C. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s and just partly cloudy skies. On the satellite and radar, you can see a little popping of thunderstorm activity in the afternoon hours across the midsection, but nothing severe reported. And again, more activity moving around this high pressure area sitting right around the Salt Lake City area, not too far away, and that is helping to usher in some showers across Southern California too, and dry conditions over the northwest, and that's going to continue. The heat wave will continue right on through Thursday. Sweltering conditions and expected to continue into the weekend. Why? Well, because the ridge is way up there, because the jet stream is way up to the north, allowing all that warm air to continue. That warm air is going to continue pushing to the northwest and move into the Alaska area over the weekend. Now, what's going on across the north sections of Alaska? Well, it looks like this. We're looking at scattered showers for Barrow and Nome, showers or thunderstorms for Fort Yukon. Temperatures fairly cool, although 75 in Fort Yukon tomorrow. Periods of rain diminishing in the Fairbanks area, but continuing for Healy and Delta Junction. Some of the rain could be heavy at times. We'll tell you more about that later on. And as far as southeast Alaska, rainy periods at Juneau, cloudy skies for Ketchikan. Temperatures cooling down a little bit. To the southwest, it looks like partly cloudy skies at Cold Bay and Bethel, and cloudy skies in Kodiak. And down around the Anchorage Bowl, well, not too bad. Cloudy skies at Anchorage and Homer. Showers expected in the Valdez region. And one note to pass along to you right now. We have a flood watch for the Good Pastor River. Heavy rains in the area are causing streams and the river to rise. The good news is rain should be ending before any major flooding occurs. But if you have cabins down there, you might want to keep an eye on them there, obviously. Our forecast for tonight, cloudy and smoky with showers likely, 53 degrees, the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast, not quite 70 degrees, periods of rain diminishing by evening, although they'll continue to the south. And the good news is, looking at the weekend, look at those temperatures rising to 80 degrees each day, even warmer by next Tuesday. Overnight lows will also be warming up to the mid-50s to 60 degrees each day. And that is overnight lows, I guess that's 60, that's pretty nice. And the weekend is looking really good for all the outdoor activities that are planned. And it's going to be a fun weekend.
Absolutely, with those kind of temperatures. Yeah. And some of the big sporting events will have really nice temperatures to work with over the weekend. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably just stay home. I don't know.
I think you're going to celebrate in your backyard.
That's right.
Yeah.
Brand new backyard. Yeah. Very good. Thanks, Mike. That'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, U.S. and Cuba will reopen embassies in Havana and Washington within the weeks. That's up next with Lester Holt.
For more news updates, tune in tomorrow morning with J.R. Lewis during the Today Show right here on Channel 11.
Okay, from all of us here at the News Center, we'll see you back at 11. Have a great night.